Hello, Bit Squad. Welcome back to the channel. Today, you guys are going to get to listen to episode 15 of the Beards and Bitcoins podcast with myself and my co-host, Jay Chains. On this episode, we were joined by Crypto Euclid and his wife, Mystical Oaks. You may know them from Twitter. And I'll be honest with you guys, we talked about a lot of fun stuff outside of crypto, which is pretty unusual for our podcast. But of course, we're still in the middle of our 12 days of Cryptomas, so I had to get on here and pick the winner for the intro before we get into the podcast. So I was giving away 3 Neos, so let's go ahead and pick the winner of the 3 Neos. Let's see, pick a winner. Jack Smith, you're the winner. You voted me funniest influencer. I appreciate that. So Jack, you are the winner. I will get that over to you by tomorrow. And as for our next contest, no strings on this one. All you got to do is just drop your ontology address below along with a comment, and we're going to be giving away 40 ontology coins. So thank you to everybody who's been completing our challenges on the 12 days of Cryptomas. We got a couple days left. So just make sure you drop that address below and enjoy the podcast.
Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and J-Chains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, 2 dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and J-Chains.
Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. I'm your co-host, BitBoy.
Hey, it's your other co-host, Jay Chains. Hope you are doing well. Hope you've had a great week. We're glad to be back with you. Quick shout out to our show sponsor, HODL Fuel. You can find him on Twitter @HODL Fuel or on the web, www.hodlfuel.com. Make sure to use promo code Beards Bitcoins and save yourself 10%. 10%.
That's 10%, not reindeer ears or antlers. I
Ho,
don't know
ho, ho. Speaking of ho, ho, ho and holidays, happy what's up to our guests. We got Yuki and Mystical Oaks, right? Are you the goddess or we mystical?
I don't even know anymore,
we're trying to figure out, we're doing a rebrand. We're going by Euclid and Oaks now, but
But my actual name is Tamara, so
yeah,
hey.
so you can just call her Tamara. That's what I call her.
What's up, Yuki and Tamara? How are we doing?
How are you guys doing? We're excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're so glad. You guys have been podcasting yourself. So that's something we'll talk about a little bit later on. We're going to talk about doxing. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Not the dog doxing, but doxing is in a verb. So
right.
Wiener dog.
Wiener dogs. Yeah. So, all right, guys. So it's that time of the show where we do our Twitter shout out. This is the Crypto Movement Twitter shout out, where we shout out people on Twitter that we think are doing big things. Brought to you by Crypto Movement. That's crypto-mvmt.com. You can find them on Twitter and Instagram @Crypto Movement. So, okay, Jay Chains first. Who are you shouting out this week?
So this is a little different than what we've done in the past. I am going to shout out someone who's not so much in crypto Twitter. He said a few things crypto related, but this week I'm going to shout out Elon Musk. I don't know if you guys saw. They just posted some of those videos of that tunnel under Los Angeles. It's like a high-speed underground tunnel.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
very
intense.
cool.
Well, yeah. So I hear there's like all these sorts of plans, I think, to do like these kind of high-speed tunnels. So you could you could go from like Chicago to Cleveland in like 15 minutes, some crazy stuff like that. So what's up to Elon, man? That's pretty cool. Keep innovating and finding ways to, as I think he tries to put it, the soul-sucking commute is what his goal is to try to eliminate that. So,
well, it's cool you brought him up because, he actually made one of my videos over the last week for his comments about the SEC, where he said he does not respect the SEC. And I thought that was really, really interesting. Did you guys see that?
No, but I love Elon Musk.
He was on 60 Minutes. Yeah.
I'm a huge Elon Musk
Pretty
fan.
much love everything he does. So
yeah, he's got a crazy story too. Like he's one of those dudes that had a really, really horrible, some really bad experiences as a child and, kind of made it, who he is today. So he's gone through some stuff. Are we allowed to cuss on this show or no?
We're family friendly if you can help
Okay.
it. If you let one fly every once in a while, it's
Right.
fine. But
Okay.
we
I'll keep that
we
in mind.
like to keep the show clean, but we don't hold our guests to it. If that. Jay Chain's like a little devil on my shoulder, like tell him to cuss, tell him to cuss.
It's okay.
No,
Every now and then. It's cool.
So, okay.
no, it's cool.
So what about you, Yuki and Os? What do we got for your shout outs? Who are you each gonna say what's up to this week?
Tamara, you go first. Who are you shouting out?
Well, we kind of came up with our two together. It was kind of a switch swap, but yeah, mine's Wendy-O, obviously.
Mhm.
Love Wendy-O. So tiny little thing doing big things in this space. So
Yes.
love Wendy-O.
Yeah, Wendy's awesome.
If whenever I'm in a pickle, I say to myself, what would Wendy-O do?
Mm.
Well, D-O-U. I like that. That's
She would block him. She would block him.
That's
Now-
probably true.
So yeah, mine I'm sticking. Well, okay, so I was gonna go with Jim Gaffigan.
Okay.
Just out of the blue because I love Jim Gaffigan. But my original one was gonna, if we stick with the crypto Twitter space, I was gonna go with Jim Crypto. Is it Jim Crypto or Crypto Jim?
Yeah, now,
Anyway,
now you have me.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Jim-
she is like super positive all the time. I noticed well, there was like, I guess like a week ago, maybe a few days ago,
a week, maybe a few days.
whatever. It was like a super crazy drama happening, right? And a lot of salt, a lot
All the
of,
time.
you know, I think it was, you know, when Bitcoin was crashing pretty hard, it almost got into the twos.
Yeah.
And I noticed, you know, Jim, she seems to always keep it positive. And she was like singing Christmas songs and getting people to
Yeah.
you know,
Love Jim.
get involved. So I just shout out to her for always keeping it positive. And that's it. Her and Jim Gaffigan.
Jim and Jim.
Jim and
Yeah.
Jim.
Oh, Jim's, that's right.
That's where I got confused at first because you went Jim Gabby and then Crypto.
I
Jim.
thought the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
"Who's
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I thought the same thing. You're like, you know who that is, right? I was like, yeah. And then
Crypto Jim Gaffigan.
you explained. I was like, oh, Crypto Jim or Jim Crypto. Yeah,
Yeah.
with a G.
It's
Okay.
really like Gem.
Gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim. Isn't that like a cartoon from the
Yeah.
80s?
Yeah, from like the 80s.
Yeah, it's ranked
Love-
as one of the worst movies ever, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they
Was
had
it?
Yeah, they had a remake, I think just about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was really, really terrible. I actually just watched a video on YouTube about it, about how bad it was. Because like, they really changed the story, and so they made the people who actually are big fans of Jim upset. But the only people that wanted to go see the movie were the fans of Jim. So everybody who watched it hated it. So
their entire audience hated it.
yeah, they pulled it from theaters, I think, after like 10 days. That's
Oh,
what
man.
yeah.
They didn't make it too long.
What's that? No. Yeah, the video I was watching was kind of cool. It was like movies that got pulled out of theaters the fastest. So, anyways, well, my Twitter shout out, I could have picked any number of people this week. So I don't want to get too much into the drama that happened to me over the last week, but I had something very, very, very dramatic happen that was basically a giant misunderstanding. And I really intentionally did not get involved in any of it. I kind of just let all the drama play out. But I had a lot of people who I didn't ask, but they came and defended me. So I just want to pick one of those people that defended me and was like, you know, showed he's a true friend. And that was Albie. That's Voices of Crypto.
Love Alvin.
Voice of Crypto.
Yeah, Voice of Crypto. And that's with I think was with a 0 instead of an O. But that's Albie. He's always doing like really funny stuff in the space. And you know, he's a person who definitely came to my fence, and I appreciated that, you know, and there, like I said, there were a number of people who came to my defense, and it all worked out in the end. There was some apologies, and you know, it turned out not to be a huge deal, but yeah, it was
interesting for a good 2 days,
oh
right?
my God.
Yeah. That was weird. And you know, like stuff like that happens. I think people just, you know, a lot of times it's misunderstandings. And someone said the other day on Twitter, it was something like, you know, how you react to things is what's important. It's not what happens to you, because you can't control what's going to happen to you, but it's how you react to the events. And you did a great job. I just want to say that.
Well,
Did a
thank
great
you.
job.
I appreciate that.
Some of the stuff that was being said out there, it was pretty crazy.
I never watched any of it. I never watched a single bit of
That's
it.
good. That's
yeah,
what
that's
we do.
probably the best way. That way you don't react.
Yeah.
You know,
Emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It
knew.
says,
My wife watched it and she laughed. She thought it was really funny. And I was like, honey, come on. Well, she wasn't happy about the situation, but she was like laughing about it. She's like, I can't get enough of this drama. I was like, honey, it's me. They're killing me.
Like
Yeah.
a soap opera.
You're like, but it's not me.
yeah.
I think it plays really well into kind of what we wanted to talk about with you guys today, and kind of just getting into the topic of the show would be, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, keeping positivity and creativity, during this market, and why we would be doing this, not only, to keep our whole group of crypto Twitter together and unified, but also for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because deep down inside, like, we do some of this stuff for our own satisfaction so that we can feel good about the decisions that we've made to kind of jump in and do a lot of stuff in the crypto space. So what are some of your thoughts about keeping your creativity and your positivity and ways that you harness, because you are probably one of the most creative people that we've seen.
You're the funniest. You and Brecky are the funniest on Twitter, period, I think.
Well, thank you. I think Brecky's hilarious. And when I saw him for the first...
You're kind of funny. Brecky is just hilarious.
No, Brecky's talented. I'm just a goofy guy. And Brecky's like one of these guys. When I saw him for the first time, I instantly DM'd him. I'm like, dude, I love you. I think you're... I got to be careful because I tend to cuss a lot.
Okay.
So, but I immediately contacted him. I'm like, hey, man, I think you're so funny and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I appreciate that. What was the question?
How are you finding ways to keep your positivity and your creativity as we go through this like prolonged bear market?
Okay, so positivity for me is not easy. It's not easy to come by. I'm extremely negative. I have like a really bad, I have pretty bad anxiety and depression issues. And negativity is something that just constantly swirls around in my head. I create things, a lot of the times when I do my stuff, like my spontaneous stuff, it's because I'm severely depressed and I'm trying to get out of it somehow, like distract myself from it. So, but as far as how I stay positive, she probably helps me do that a lot.
I think he sucks it and my life out of me.
Oh, did you hear that? I suck the life out of her. That's true. If there was such thing as a psychic, is it psychic vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be me. I am able to literally take her great like energy and aura and like, and just completely crush it. And
crush it.
Such a talent. So talented.
Yeah. But
I love him so much.
I used to get I literally just I go through waves of where like I let stuff affect me on Twitter and stuff. And I just recently came to the conclusion that it's absolutely ridiculous to be getting upset by stuff you see on Twitter.
But it's true. Some things trigger you though, but it's good to try to not get, don't watch it if you know it's going to trigger you, because when you're just sitting in that negative spot, like it just makes everything you're going through, you're fussy and miserable. And,
so I noticed there's like, I'm not going to name the account's name because I'm not trying to, start stuff, but there's really big account that I noticed is like, its thing is to like go after other people.
Yeah.
And
I know
like
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And like, so someone was talking about, being sober, which I am too. I've got 16 months sobriety. And this other account was talking about, it just was like putting like I don't know, just kind of diminishing what they're talking about. It just seems like maybe, there's some, and people enjoy that. People that does get a lot of, like negative, that kind of stuff gets a lot of attention, a lot of interaction. So you could really just like focus on that but I don't like it. I got to, like I said, like I'm trying to like not get my feelings hurt and stuff and be affected by things. And
because it affects his mood. So, yeah.
But I joined Twitter to help me like distract me from, okay. So when I got sober, I joined Twitter like right after, and it's helped me maintain my sobriety. I use it. It's a drug now. Twitter is like my new drug, and all the friends I've made, it's kind of like I've kind of like built a support system in a way, not on purpose. It's just kind of happened. When I'm like really like feeling down or whatever, I can just go on Twitter, which seems to be like 24 hours a day almost, but
That's true.
yeah, it's hard. I think it is. It's hard sometimes to not get your feelings hurt or not be upset if something, doesn't go the way you want it to. But
Well,
yeah,
it's hard. It's hard because, and this is a conversation I have with my wife all the time. We talk about it a lot, which is, you have like your real life and then you have your Twitter life. It's not like Facebook, right? Like I don't have a Facebook anymore. I used to have one. I don't know if you guys have one, but on Facebook, that really is an extension of your real life because all of those people that you pretty much know, like those are all people that you know. They're friends. Like you might see them out at the store or whatever it might be. With Twitter, this is like an alternate reality that we've created for ourselves, And so it's really hard to draw the distinction between your real life and your Twitter life. And when that negativity from Twitter starts feeding over into your real life, like that's where you got to try to figure out things to do to stop that. And it's really, really hard, especially the more we get into this space. I know for all of us, right? We go to conferences, we go to meetups, we see each other, we talk to each other, private messages, all this stuff. Like for us, it's weird because now like our real life is kind of entangled with our alternate life.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
But it's hard because like you got somebody like, okay, so when this whole drama was going on last week, and once again, the whole thing was a giant misunderstanding and people were attacking me and calling me names and all this stuff. That whole day that was going on, I was out with my family. My father-in-law had bought us a city pass in Atlanta so we can go. There's like 5 different things you can do. So that day we went to the College Football Hall of Fame. We went to the World of Coke, and we went to the aquarium.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we went to all those places in one day, and the whole day I'm dealing with this. I'm getting dings and looking at, all. So I started blocking people, and it made it better. But it's hard when like the feelings that I was having about what was going on, because it doesn't matter what it's over. Like when your character is being attacked, that that really sucks, especially like some people probably don't care. For me, like I've worked very hard, to protect my character and my integrity, And so that was a day where that stuff was like really, it was entangling in my real life. And so it was a really hard day. Like my wife knew it was affecting me and, different stuff like that. So it can be really, really hard for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, ours is entangled completely. So
it's interesting. It's almost like, I don't know if you guys either read the book or saw the movie Ready Player One, where you go and put on your glasses and you just go into your alternate reality. I would totally do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
like a Twitter version.
So it is
Twitter world.
Oh God. Twitter virtual reality. That's the scariest thing I ever heard. No.
A virtual conference.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think we have we have created this, little niche world of this crypto Twitter. And I mean, it just kind of, like I said, I've been on there for a year, I guess, like January is when I signed up for Twitter. And it's completely taken over my life. I mean, I've been to 2 conferences. I spoke on a panel for somehow, and
that makes you an influencer.
Yes, I tweeted that. I am now an influencer. I was on a panel.
That tweet also makes them.
Yeah, well, you got to you put out to the universe what you want, or and you tell. It's just like we were watching a show, and was it Deadwood? Was it? No. It was the movie, the Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
And in the beginning scenes, it's a guy and he's a writer. He's at a desk. He said, like when you call yourself a writer, you are a writer, and the stories come to you. And I guess what my point is, if you want to call yourself, just say what you want to be.
Right. Put out in the universe.
I don't want to be an influencer, and I don't pretend to be one.
But you just tweet that.
But no, it was a joke, obviously.
Well, I think there's this really silly thing where people don't want to call themselves what they are. You know what I mean? Like the fact is, if you got over probably 3,000 followers on Twitter, you're an influencer, because you got a large, if they're real followers, like you got a large people that are seeing your tweets, especially if you're involved in the space, if you're doing anything career wise, or if you're doing even funny stuff. Like there's this whole movement of people that are like, I don't want to be called an influencer. The reason is because Kim Kardashian is called an influencer. So you don't want to associate yourself as the same kind of person doing the same kinds of things for interaction on social media. But just because there's like some bad, I'm not calling Kim Kardashian bad or whatever. Like she is what she is. But I just mean like, you know, when people get so caught up on the word and what that means and like, don't call me that. It's one of those things where the more you say, don't call me that, like the more you become that thing. You know what I mean? That's definitely what I've seen.
It could be.
What she is a multimillionaire.
For sure.
She might even be a billionaire at this point. But
very well could be.
I think it's when people put like influencer in their bio or something, like, you know, and maybe, you know, that's why people see that. And that's why maybe it has like a bad rep, whatever. It's like, hey, I'm an influencer, you know, like you put it, I think it's best to, you know, prove yourself. I don't know. And then just say, I don't know.
I call myself I call myself a cryptocurrency personality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just a personality, you know.
Here's my BTC address. Throw me a tip.
Call myself a paid group leader.
Group leader. There you go. There's a good alt account. I know who it is, but
yeah.
Anyway, so all right, well, let's go back. There's something I want to talk about with you guys because I actually had asked you guys to be on my YouTube show a long time ago. It was several months ago. And I said, well, you got to cut, like, the whole show is Faces of Crypto, and so you had to show your face, and you were like, I'm not really ready to do that. So what happened? What was your reservations to doing that? Then what led you to do it, and what is the reaction been?
So first of all, I wanted to apologize to you because so you and I were DMing back and forth and you were like, yeah, come on my show. And I was like, hell yeah, I'd love to. And then we went back and forth. And then like last second, you're like, by the way, it's a, you know, you got a docs. And I was about to cuss. I was about to call myself a cuss word, didn't even look to see what your show was about, you know, and I feel bad. So you're like, dude, it's like
Faces of Crypto.
Yeah. That's the thing,
I laughed. I was like,
yeah. And I should have immediately, you know, assumed that. So you're probably like, oh, this guy's a real idiot. But
no. I understood, you know, and I was still like really, I mean, that was a long time ago, you know. And I was really early in my channel, and you know, I didn't even know what the word doxed meant at that point. You know, I was just like, I didn't know that was a thing people were doing, is trying to hide their faces or what, you know, whatever. Hide may be a strong word, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay, so I don't remember what the question was.
The question was, why did you not want to, and not on my show? I just mean in general. Okay. And then what led you to go ahead and do it?
Yeah, well,
you take it first.
Yuki was back and forth with that the whole time, and one of his close friends at the time, Moby Dick, said, "Do not dox. Do not dox. Everyone loves the mystery. You shouldn't dox." A week later, mind you, Moby does a whole family picture.
Right. I remember.
Full dox. So it was like, Moby, didn't you?
No, it wasn't because of Moby. So, okay.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
But we did dox because we did a meetup. In Knoxville.
Yeah,
we met people already. Yeah. And then, it just happened.
So when I first started on Twitter, I just came on Twitter because I followed somebody. I think he had like a YouTube channel, and it was like crypto, like, you know, he would just talk about the different coins and things. And I think I created a Twitter account because of him. He said, "Oh, I'm getting on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter." I'm like, "Ah, cool. I don't even have Twitter, but let's do it." And God, what was my point? So I wasn't planning on doing this. Like, this wasn't my thing. Let me become like a guy who does videos and stuff on Twitter, or does podcasts in crypto space or whatever. But so I think one day I was like, you know, I want to like do a podcast or something. And so I was talking to Bella and God, who was the other guy? The dude, Bitcoin dude. They were in a thread together, and Bella had her podcast at the time. I think Bitcoin Dude just did an episode. He doesn't have a podcast, but he was on someone else's. And I was like, kind of like testing the waters with them, like asking them questions about it. And then I did a podcast, and I loved it. It was just fun, you know, and I guess it was positive. I got some positive feedback. So that was me like doxing my voice, I guess. Yeah. And because, you know, when you start on Twitter and you just have like a weird Abby, you could be a female, you could be male, you could be, you know, any nationality. Like people have no clue who they're talking to or whatever. So, yeah, I doxed my voice then. And my intention was to eventually do video, but I have no clue like how to even, you know, do videos and stuff. I learned how to use OBS.
Coming from the literal best video maker in the world.
Yeah. Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
No.
That green screen, which we can't get it to work right now, but that green screen, it has broke Twitter.
Nah, it's just, you know what? It's like, I think, and so here's the thing too, and Tamara gets mad at me because like I don't plan anything, and that's like what I said was a lot of times when I do my stuff is because I'm depressed and I'm trying to like get out of it.
I'm not mad at no. He literally throws me in. He's like, "Hey, you want to do something?" I'll come upstairs. I'm standing here. He gets all his stuff together. And then he just turns it on and hits record. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh, shit.
Sorry. Oh, that's
Uh-oh. Is this, are we going to get the show canceled because of her?
Yeah, the FCC is on us right now.
You can bleep it, right?
Yeah. This one will have to go on XM only, so.
Okay. Tamara, please don't use that word, honey.
I'm sorry.
But
we had John McAfee on here.
Yeah, we had McAfee.
Oh, really?
One time.
Every other word was that. So like, you have nothing.
Y'all are fine. Y'all are fine. We just try to limit it. You know, we want it to be family friendly, but we also understand like we don't want you to, you know, kill yourself if you say something wrong. You know, so.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't, there's nothing scripted or anything. I just, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do until literally the second I do it. And just like the whole Sasquatch thing just happened because I was out, I got this cool little thing, like some stuff because we were going to, it was either HoshoCon or World CryptoCon. And I wanted to be able to do some videos, you know, out on the scene or whatever. And I bought some equipment and I was just testing it. And I'm like, what can I do? Like, so I did the whole, you know, oi Sasquatches F off. And then next thing I did was like a Sasquatch, you know, like the guy in front of the, you know,
well, I found some funny mushrooms outside too.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
But
I was like, those would be great.
And here's the other thing, like I get nervous. So like even before this show, I'm like the hour to 2 hours before, I'm literally like, you know, just super nervous. So I think when I try to plan things, like it ruins the funny for me. Like it's just spontaneous.
Yeah. But I'm clueless. I'm just like,
but yeah. And you know,
okay.
So did you, let's see, you did we did when Wendio like asked a question, and we've got another one that we're going to do where Wendio made a funny video where she interviewed her, it was like her, who was cousin-in-law. Mm-hmm. And I'm working on that, but it's like really hard because now it's like, okay, it's like a planned thing now. Yeah. So now
to do anything planned.
Yeah,
you know, it can't be.
So
I think you would be very surprised, and I think a lot of people would be surprised to know, like, I'm really the same way. Like, almost all of my videos, like, I just get in front of the camera and I just start talking, you know, like my Donald Trump videos that I've done that, you know, I mean, people think they're pretty funny or whatever. Like, I literally don't know what I'm going to say. There was one where I was like, okay, I'm going to put a Mexican or the, you know, border wall behind me. And so I'm just going to, you know, maybe make some kind of like crypto immigration joke or about a wall or something. I just had that to go on and I started talking. So like, I get it. I'm not the best planner myself, but the longer that I've been doing this, which still isn't an extremely long time, but the longer that you go, you kind of start to see like, okay, well, if I do plan something out, like the last couple ones I've done that are funny videos, like I have planned them out a little bit and written a script, like you get to where you kind of know your voice and that will actually work better. But it took me a long time of just like learning to be comfortable in front of the camera before I could get to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I totally understand what you're saying. But the thing about it is people don't like your content. They don't like my content. They like us, you know?
Right.
And that's the key. I hope people like me anyways. But, you know, like when it comes to news, like a ton of people make different news videos, but my community, for whatever reason, like they like me. People on Twitter, they think your videos are funny. They like you. So it's not necessarily about the quality of what you try to bring or whatever. Like it's just fun to see your personality doing different stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that Squatch report is hands down the best thing I've ever
No question. That is the best video ever. Not just on the internet, ever. Even going back before America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably have a show that could just be a show, but and it's like
those Canadians, I don't trust them up there. I thought that was so funny.
I've always said that I don't trust Canada.
I'm the same. I'm the same.
That's my contention.
He doesn't trust Canadians or cows.
Yeah.
So,
but I think you could. But see, then I have like severe ADD, so like I get bored really quick, and and it's like, okay, so the Sasquatch thing to me is like, okay, next I want to do something else.
So yesterday.
Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you saying nice things about the Squatch Report. It's important. I mean, the thing is, people need to know where these squatches are at.
You're helping people.
This isn't just all comedy. This is actually a service I'm trying to provide to the nation,
to the public.
I think that, having someone who tracks the squatches, is important.
Well, my uncle is 100% convinced that they're real. He says he's seen one. He has a recording of one.
Wow.
So not a video, an audio recording.
Right.
Of course.
That's the thing. There's 100%. Literally always you can hear them, right?
Right.
Because you hear like,
maybe they're invisible.
Do you have a video of them?
Could it be they're invisible?
No, maybe they are invisible. I don't know.
Or they have like a cloak of invisibility.
There's like literally that one picture of like the blurry, spots. Yeah. Obviously a dude in a costume. You know what I mean? That one old picture you see.
Looks like Harry and the Hendersons. I don't know if you're
but and any quote unquote sightings or whatever, they're not sightings. It's
always
just
a
audio.
Footprint or audio.
There's never video of these Sasquatches.
I will say this. I have a very unpopular take here. A hot take right here. I believe it is much more likely that Bigfoot is real than there are aliens. That's my hot take.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
that's a hot take. I would be much.
I feel like we're aliens. I feel like we came from, from space. So we are aliens. So there has to be,
We are not all this shit. We are absolutely.
The Earth is so small.
If you look at
you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you look at the math of it, if you look at the pure math, and this is where a lot of people get tripped up, is the hope and the kind of like just abstract thought that because we're so small, there must be more out there. But the fact is, and a lot of scientists now believe that we're nothing more than a simulation. If that were the case, then it would definitely make sense we'd be the only people. But however, if you
who's running the simulation? I mean,
somebody that would be outside of our.
That's what Elon Musk.
Musk.
That would be outside of our of our dimension, though. I guess if you would.
Right.
But the thing about it is if you look back at when there used to be the qualifications for what it would have to happen for a planet to be able to sustain life or whatever, it used to be there were just a couple of qualifications. Like had to have sunlight, had to have water, had to have this, had to have that. And over time, just every few years, they add more and more and more. And every time they add more qualifications, it actually makes the chances of there being not just, if we're talking about intelligent life, we're not talking about like a little bitty kelp in the water somewhere. I mean, we're talking about something we could talk to.
Not a microorganism.
Yeah, not that, Right. Like there are factors that people don't even think about. Like you have to have a planet the size of Jupiter out there protecting you, shielding you from asteroids coming in. Like that's a qualification. You have to have a planet. So people don't think about that. I think our own Earth is much less explored than we give it credit for, and it would not shock me. I would be much more shocked if there were intelligent life out there. And then you got to think about this with aliens out there too. How old supposedly is the universe, right? Billions and billions and billions of years. So if you take the history of mankind and you put it on like a timeline and you say, okay, how long have we been around? People say it's, millions of years, whatever it is. Then you say like, okay, if there is intelligent life out there, they have to be alive at the same time that we're alive too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're not, the Earth can only sustain life for so long. I mean, they say eventually, thousands of years from now, we're doomed. You know what I mean? Unless we can become spacefaring. So I don't know. That's my opinion on it. We got way out there. We went universal with this.
Listen, really quick. I want to say my theory. Okay, I got a theory about whales.
Good thing I'm sitting.
Whales.
Yes,
they're manipulating the markets.
No, okay. So whales have giant brains, correct?
Yeah,
that's been established. All right, and look at our brains. Okay, they're a certain size, and look what we've done with our brains. It's my contention that whales have a whale city like down, right?
Atlantis.
They're like, if you go down where we've never been to,
right.
The whales have the whole civilization down there because their brains are so much larger than ours.
Yeah.
Now you could argue, well, what about these whales that wash up, on the shore? Like what happened to them
stuff.
if they're so intelligent, right? And they have whale cities, which I believe, then how is it that they get tripped up and they beach themselves?
We've talked about this before.
Okay,
and
I've got
she has it's a special whale.
Or they're like a pack of like suicide whales or something, and they're depressed maybe, and that's like their mission was just to go in or something. Yeah. Right.
Or just
okay. So I now know the next Squatch report. It's the special whale report.
Right.
You're gonna go deep sea diving, and you're gonna uncover.
That's funny. Yeah.
He does dive.
Yeah,
that's
there
funny.
You go.
That would be good. I could do like like a submarine.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing a submarine, and there's like a porthole here.
This is gonna cost me a lot of money.
And it sounds like it.
I'm talking about a green screen submarine, honey.
Okay, good.
I mean, did we have to build a studio for the Squatch report? No, that's the beauty of it.
What you got to do is you just got to put your head right above the desk, and then you got to green screen a little bubble over your head like you're in a little submarine. That'll be hilarious.
I'm thinking like I'm in a submarine, and like over here is like it's just a porthole, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. I like that.
And then there's whales and fish swimming by the porthole. Some weird creature swims by
Disney,
or something.
Fomobi's got to float by for sure.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
I'll have to see if Fomobi wants to swim by and tap on the
Fomobis, both of them.
That ride was called 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I like that
and
ride.
it was fun. I think they shut it down.
They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was it at like a Disney?
At Disney World.
Disney,
right?
Disney World in Florida.
In Orlando.
Yeah.
They turned it. I think they turned that into the toy.
Stupid.
The Toy Story ride. I think.
I don't know.
Something not good. I saw it. Just walked right by. I was like, oh, it used to be a good ride there.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
So let's talk. Go ahead, Jay James.
I was there last year. The Pirates of the Caribbean. That was a pretty fun one.
Love that one.
For what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like just those old original ones are just super nostalgic. I love them. But and the haunted house thing,
Yeah.
Space Mountain is still really fun. But my favorite ride in all of Disney World, I like the Expedition Everest in the the Animal Kingdom.
That's fun.
That was
the
fun.
Yeti.
Yeah, the Yeti. Yeah, I like
my favorite too. We're on the same.
I
love that one. It goes backwards to scare the
not a roller coaster
out of Yuki.
Yeah.
We'll never go on it again. I love it. I'll have to go on it by myself.
Goes backwards.
I do. I ride it by myself. Nobody will ride it with me. My son may have ridden it with me last time. There were a couple he couldn't ride. He did. He was only 6 or 5 at the time. But so I don't know what that says about you, Yuki. But anyways.
If I could cuss, I would call myself the P word because that's what I am. P-U-S-S.
I agree. Phenomenal.
When it comes to roller coasters.
Phenomenal. You're phenomenal. I love it. But
in Hollywood, the Eagle, it's awesome. It's my favorite. It's better than the Yeti. So
it's what now?
Better than it's something Eagle, the Flying Eagle, the Eagle. I don't.
Yeah, Dollywood has a bunch of roller coasters.
Dollywood. Oh, I love Dollywood. Oh, I know the Eagle. Yeah, I rode all the roller coasters there.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, Dollywood's pretty fun. So okay, let's get back to talking about something relevant to crypto.
Okay.
we've gone so far. I want to talk about like your podcast and stuff like that because I want to know what the current state is. Are you guys still doing the This Is the Show podcast or?
No, we're not doing that. We had a good run. I'm very proud of the work we did with Junior Lancaster. I've decided that to just sort of pursue doing the video stuff.
Yeah. And
kind of work on Tamara and I building our sort of like our YouTube channel and. I just really want to get into video production because it was just taking a lot of time, a lot of resources for us. So yeah, I'm real proud of what we did. It was a great show and
well,
but
it's fun.
No more.
So
it's a pretty sweet This Is the Show podcast onesie or not onesie
that thing was
suits
awesome.
that you had in Vegas.
Yes, we had jackets and a onesie. So yeah. It's a good branding. That was a good show name. It was great. So it was a fun time. Yeah.
A hell of a good time.
I missed that. And we missed Around the Corn. So we've been on some great projects.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that has been gone for a while, I guess now, huh?
It has.
Yeah. So Zod, the host, left Twitter, and no one's kind of really heard from him. We're all kind of worried. He might
come back. We're
all worried about him. Haven't heard from him. So Zod, if you're out there and you're listening, say hi.
Yeah. But and, we've all got a little pack that if Zod pops in, we'll might revisit. I don't know, but we're all doing, I think, other things. So so I did my own little podcast in the beginning, and then I brought Tamara on, and we were doing like Yuki and the Goddess, and we would interview crypto Twitter people. And I think what we're going to do, Tamara and I are going to kind of revisit that again, but it's going to be video. Yeah. We did one with Albie, Voice of Crypto, where we interviewed him. Mm-hmm. And we're kind of doing a rebrand with the Euclid and Oaks, and we're going to I think we're going to go with that. We're also, Tamara's in the, I guess, like life coaching, spiritual advisor kind of field, and she does tarot readings and that kind of thing. We also are going to get into doing more of just talking about life stuff, because that's usually what we do anyways.
Our show usually, like when we did the podcast, was not very crypto much. It was more just talking about whales and theories, whale city, but
whale aliens.
We're kind of playing around with the idea. Yes. Aliens. Doing like something not crypto related at all, and into the more just like talking about life and stuff like that. Do
you guys not really like talking about crypto, or what?
No, it's not that I don't. Crypto. I love it. I don't know all that much about it.
Gotcha.
Is the thing. Like, I'm not a trader.
So many more smart people. Crypto relevant. I mean, we just love crypto, and we love the space, and we love the people in the space.
Yeah,
so I think we're kind of more community based, than in it for the community.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just pretty much, I believe in Bitcoin, and what I think it's going to do for us all, and it's going to kind of take the power back and that kind of thing, which is sort of corny and cliche, but and I wouldn't be in this space if I didn't believe that. But as far as I don't get much into like trading, and so I need to learn how to. But hell, everyone's lost their rear ends with all the the way the market is crashing.
It's not that important to learn how to trade, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, like if you want to trade, then there's people out there you can follow, and you can follow their trades, or join a paid group. I mean, a lot of that gets knocked, and I don't have a paid group, but I'm in one that does pretty well, one of the best ones out there. Because I don't have time to sit and learn TA. I'm making content all the time, but even that, like, it's not that important to trade. It's important to know and recognize the next time we get near the top. That's very important to know, and to take out profits and stuff. But as far as like trading on the way up and on the way down, like if you have all the time in the world to sit and do that, then that's one thing. But most of us have other stuff that we do and other stuff we're interested in, and that's not our life. It doesn't consume us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. And it's gambling. You can't say it's not. I mean, if you are, you're gambling that the market's going to go, you're going to predict,
Well, he's not very good at that. So
I bought a little bit of Bitcoin when the price was like 1,700, and then it went all the way up to 19. And she was like, "You should sell," and I was like, "No, it's going to 1 million." That was my. I think everyone thought that.
So he did it.
It was the euphoria. I mean, that's.
And so
I'm in charge of it now.
So now,
Coinbase account.
If I would have done that,
this is me.
If I would have sold, at the or whatever, in that part where she said to sell, I could now and reinvest and have more Bitcoin,
which is what I said.
But so I don't know.
I think we know that you are not allowed.
No,
to
here's
do that.
the thing. I know that Bitcoin is going to be, the thing in the future. I know it's going to be a store of value. It might not be the coin that is used to transact daily. There might be something else, but in my belief is that Bitcoin will be a very good store of value, and that it's just going to go up in value. It's just going to keep going up. Now, and it might be 20 years, whatever. How old am I? Do I have 20 years? Yes, I'll be 60. So 60 something's not bad. So by the time 20 years, it'll be worth $1 million. I think.
I think so. I agree.
Yeah, I think we all have that same kind of thing.
And if you, I think for me, it's just try to, get more, just try to, without,
so
you
should have listened to me.
You've got your fiat that you've got to use to pay bills and things. Yeah. We can't just constantly pour money into Bitcoin. And obviously you want to buy it when it's low, but and if you sell it when it's high, then you can hopefully reinvest when it gets low again. But I don't know. I think that the reason I don't talk too much about crypto is because I get bored with it too. I like to talk about life and funny stuff and sad things and what makes people tick and that kind of stuff. So I get bored with Bitcoin. Things. Yeah. And it's funny is when we went to HoshiCon, Antonopoulos was there, and he's kind of like a hero of mine. I just personally like the guy. I think, he's very inspirational. He's out there like spreading the word, and he's very knowledgeable, and just like the stories he talks about, he's a very good public speaker.
If I were to rank crypto people, he's ranked number 1 in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. I think he's
I just had a dream about Antonopoulos.
Huh, interesting.
That's gonna get weird.
Not like that, no, he hired me as his life coach.
Oh, wow. Well, it might.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. But and if you guys look at my Twitter feed or whatever. So anyway, Antonopoulos followed Tamara and I during that HoshiCon thing. Oh, wow. So I was like blown away. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then at HoshiCon, we went up and took a picture with him, and he recognized, he's like, oh, Euclid, I've seen you on Twitter, and oh, the goddess, whatever. And so
whatever.
Well, I say that because like you're trying to change your name.
Or whatever.
And we were going by goddess back then. And so I thought that was like crazy that he actually knew, he like recognized me. But now, okay, so I'm just I don't post like crypto stuff at all, like my Twitter feed. So sometimes I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, I don't want, Antonopoulos to see this sometime. You know what I mean? So I'm like praying that he, either he's got me muted or he's got a sense of humor, because
he does have a sense of humor.
Yeah, he has to.
I'm sure.
But
he's funny when he's on.
Because some of the stuff, I mean, you guys know some of the people I hang out with on Twitter. They're pretty.
They're degens.
Yes. Yeah. So it's but I think you just have to just be yourself and whatever. But I don't know what we were talking about. But
of course,
it wasn't crypto. I know that.
I'm pretty sure I have pretty bad brain damage. Like I literally I will forget, what we're talking about, like while we're talking about it. But
anyway. It happens. It's like the excitement of it, right? You just kind of go with it, and we're all just in a conversation, and we have definitely trailed here and there and all sorts of different places. Yes. So let's get lost in conversation. I like it.
Love it. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I guess that's about out of time for today. So do you guys have anything you want to leave us with? Tell people where they can find you for sure.
Okay. So yeah, we're kind of getting our YouTube channel built up, put all my silly stuff on there. And anytime Tamara and I do any kind of show or anything, we're going to start doing a show called Euclid and Oaks, and it's going to be in the crypto space. And we're going to just do what we're doing, what we've always done, which is just kind of talk. And we may interview, our friends on crypto Twitter, that kind of thing. I don't know if we are or not. We might just yammer on and just chit chat. But
I wrote a few funny commercials. So
she's a hilarious writer. She writes really funny stuff. And all my material comes from her. I don't have an original thought.
Yeah, the really bad stuff is not me.
The secret just came out.
Yeah, but you guys, if you want to, follow us on our YouTube account, we don't have all the followers that you need to be able to have like a custom name or whatever. So just go to my Twitter account and just click the link on my in my bio is for our YouTube account. So that's basically it. Just kind of keep an eye on us there.
Awesome. All right, guys. All right, J Chains. You got anything you want to
add? Be on the lookout for the post that will follow the release of this podcast. We are going to be doing a special end of the year contest that it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. I don't want to give any details away yet because they're super secret right now. But when this podcast goes live, there'll be a post on Twitter, on the Beards and Bitcoins Twitter account. You get ready for it because it's going to be hot.
Huge.
Nice.
Huge.
Yo.
All right, guys. That's all we got. Thank you to our sponsors, Crypto Movement and Hodl Fuel. We will see you guys later. BitBoy out.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks for
Bye.
having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for being on the show. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and JChains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.